you were 11 years. It was a fantastic, successful
Yeah.
program. Tell me about those years, because I mean, you met so many people. And
Yeah, well, I started this. The show started with just me.
how old were you, Tim? Sorry.
How old was I when I got there? About 26 or something, I think. Something like that, yeah. Sort of mid to late 20s. And I just can't remember. That's really bad. It must be about 26, 27. Anyway, I went around the office. It was a very small show, and I just thought, well, let's make it really big. I went around the office and I looked at people who I thought, TV, you don't need a hell of a lot of experience. What you need is you need energy, you need enthusiasm, you need charisma, and you need ideas. Okay, but you don't need masses of experience. That's not what you need, especially in production. And so I went around the office looking at people who I thought looked like they would be good fun to work with, and I thought, well, I've got the charisma to carry it through. And I brought another guy in called an experience. I brought another guy called Andy Harris, who I'd been working with at the Big Breakfast and who loved his football, to work alongside me. And we just got a load of basically young kids in, and between the lot of us, we just went. I sat them down one day and said, look, this show's a really small show. If we all work really hard, then we can make it a really big show, but we'd be putting in a lot of hours and stuff, and everyone bought into it. It was the most amazing thing, and we lost a couple of people along the way, but generally people bought into it. And 11 years, we just worked really hard, and to begin with, we were just copying everything, and eventually we started doing stuff where it was our original material. And it was just a great time to be around. Again, is it luck or is it instinct? But I was around football, which was going through its huge growth spurt, so everyone was interested in it, and we were just having a laugh and enjoying it. And yeah, through that time, we started with having very small guests, nobodies really. And I realised early on that the big guests were always going to go on terrestrial TV, and they're not going to come to Sky Sports. So I started just looking at sports people and more obscure things, the Britpop scene, the indie stars and stuff like that, and a lot of bands and music. So I knew I could get them, whereas I couldn't get, the Robbie Williams or something, because they're doing terrestrial TV. So we then got this really fantastic reputation as being the show where we got all the cool bands and footballers and stuff like that on. It was stuff I liked, I've got to admit, but it was a slight accident, because I think if I'd been able to get really high profile stars, I'd have probably done it. So yeah, and we end up setting a rule that you had to be talented or we like you to come on the show, and that was our rule with all the guests. And then we had a myriad guests come through, and some of them, they were just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we ended up with loads of footballers coming on, and Noel Gallagher's and Ray Winston's and blah blah blah, and it ended up being fantastic, real success story on a no budget at all. So it was great, really good, and we had such a laugh.